it's me, Renee. I'm back, and yeah, I know I said would have a video up on Monday, just late. Yeah, it didn't happen. I'm not. I don't quite remember if I said this, but if not, I started a new job on Monday. Well, I feel a bit weird saying that. Technically, it's an internship, but it may lead to a job. So yeah. So right now it's not paid, but it's an experience. So I do that Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Wednesdays. Not Thursdays. Thursdays and Fridays. Sorry. Wednesdays I still go to my regular bookstore job. So yeah, and that job it's from 9 till 4, and I work in a cafe. So I mix ingredients and all that kind of stuff, and it's a lot of standing on my feet all day. Well, there's breaks, of course, but for most part of the day, it's standing, and it's nice. But I mean, of course, it's also like the first week of a new job, so like the first week of anything new, it's kind of like, oh my god. But still, that's it. I'm really enjoying it, but yeah, I'm tired. So here I am. Probably think I'm gonna film a few things today. But the first one being this, which, as you can see from the title, is a wrap up of this weekend's Deweys. So yeah, Deweys, I had plans. Oh, did I have plans? I had a big pile of possibilities, and yeah, it ended up being a lot of DNFs. Well, I had a few DNFs, and then for most part, I'm not really reading anything, like not a physical book and not an audiobook. I kind of okay. So the sad thing is, okay, so on Saturday morning, because for me it started in the afternoon, during read fonts. But yeah, on Saturday morning I worked, but still, like while working, I was just feeling, yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay. The thing is, I got my period. Yeah, if you're afraid or embarrassed, go away. But that's what happened. I'm honest there. I got my period on Friday, and usually my first day is the worst, and then the second day it's not that bad. But this time on Saturday, I was still feeling very much down in dumps. Like my energy was low. I was just kind of bad all over. I was tired. I didn't really have a headache, but I was just kind of very tired. Like, like if you have a headache or if you have cramps, you can take a paracetamol and well, it works. But if you're tired, well, I suppose you can eat chocolate or something to get some energy. But sadly, that didn't really help on Saturday. And then when I got home, I was still very tired. So yeah, I tried to read a bit in. Well, I did some DNFs. So I started some books and then DNFs them. And then after that, I didn't really have the energy to try anything more really to try audiobooks and stuff. So I just kind of end up lazing in front of the TV and yeah, self-caring. So this series was sadly a bit of a bust. But then again, it wasn't a bust because the books that I started and DNF'd were books from the library, and the books from the library I kind of wanted to get rid for a long time. So now I know, since I DNF'd them, that they're not books that I should try, that I should renew again from the library because I already renewed them once. They're books that I can kind of get out of my head. And yeah, though actually I did actually finish one book, so yeah, quite pleased with that. I mean, not everyone finished even one book for Jews, and the point is to just read. And it kind of seems like a lot of people like they focus very much on reading during the Jewish, and then the rest of the year they don't really have that much time to focus on reading because a lot of people are participating in Jewish, and yes, it's like a lot of them are kind of focusing, like trying to prioritize reading in Jewish. Well, with me, I have time to read all year round, so it's not like I only read during Jewish. So it's not the end of the world that I didn't read that weekend because I read most weekends. But yeah, let's get to the books. So first we have Northanger Abbey, a comic book. So I've seen at least one movie of this. I actually haven't read any Jane Austen books. I tried when I was 17, but I tried in English, and reading Jane Austen in English when you're 17, and when English is not your first language, and also when Jane Austen is old style English. It's not probably the smartest thing. I suppose it depends on who you are, but for me it didn't really work. Um, Actually, I suppose I could have tried to read Austen in Norwegian. I haven't really done that. I have a thing where I really like every time an Austen book is announced to be adapted, I feel like, oh, I want to watch it. But I never really had much of a kind of inkling to read the books in original English, which I suppose is a bit weird. Why I'm so into movies but not into reading the books. Because like, if it's language, I could try them in Norwegian. I suppose language could still be, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I tried this and I kind of realized something. With me, even though I really like a lot of comic book movies, like superhero movies, I like some movies based on comic books, like Lucifer. Well, that's not a movie, but yeah, comic books in themselves. For me, that's kind of a rare occasion where I really like it. Like, I like my stories with words and only words. I say as I point at a book with pictures on it. Like, yeah, like I like it when a book has the beginning of the chapter that has there's maybe a picture or illustration. That's fun. And when there's illustrations here and there, that's fun. But only illustrations like comic books, I don't know. For me, that's kind of like I really like the Prince and Dressmaker, and I think it was because of the art style. It was very fun art style. But here, I didn't really feel like the art style was that beautiful. So yeah, for me, comic books, it has to be a very beautiful art style. And this one, eh, it wasn't that interesting. So yeah, I put it down. Also, a little fun anecdote to this one. So I got this one back in February. Kind of like, oh, fun. Not having Rabbit in a comic book. Interesting. And then in March, I got a note from my library saying like, you haven't returned this book, you should return it. And then I searched all over, could not find it. It's like, maybe have I maybe returned it, but it wasn't registered, because that's something that does happen where you return it and it ends up on the wrong library or whatnot. But no, that didn't happen. And then I found it a few days ago in the weirdest place, like in a box with this and one more library book and nothing else. It was like, why are these two things here and nothing else? And like, why? It's weird. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, now I can return to the library and say like, found it and I tried it, didn't like it, but now someone else can enjoy it. Because like, of course, if you never find a book that you get from library, you have to pay the amount of the whole book, which I suppose this one wasn't that expensive, but still, it's kind of nice not to have to do that. But yeah, first DNF. Then we have De Tre Utvalgte, a Norwegian book that I kind of randomly got from a library. It's a middle grade, and it's all about kind of codes and stuff. And I started it. Well, this one I just gave 3 pages. Sometimes I feel like, should I give stuff like, how long should you give a book? Like, should you give it 50 pages or 100 pages? Often I think like, if the book is 200 pages, I'm giving it 50 pages because then it should be established and stuff. If the book is 100 pages, I get 100 pages because yeah, I kind of feel like by that you should kind of feel like you like it or not. But sometimes I just get a few pages. Like sometimes I stop at one chapter and I feel like, should I give it another chapter? But at the same time, isn't it the job of the author to make me hooked by the first chapter? Though of course sometimes I'm not in the age group or the target group, but like still, like, yeah, you should know if you're gonna like a book or not by the first chapter, shouldn't you? Well, sometimes a book has an awful first chapter, and the second chapter is awesome. But then also, I think would say then the publisher hasn't really done a good job. I mean, of course, no book, no movie, no No TV series, or most of them, aren't perfect all the time. Like, it's not gonna be perfect from A to Z. But like, if there's gonna be down, like, dead points and boring parts, it shouldn't be in the first chapter. You should have that like a bit into the book, like for logical reasons. But yeah. So yeah, I started this. I gave it just a few pages. But yeah, I kind of felt like it was too. I felt like maybe it was too middle grade. It like focused too much. Oh yeah. Also now I'm looking back at it, I kind of felt like it was kind of info dumping, and yeah, I think I might read it, and that's kind of sad. I think I might have loved it maybe if I was 10 or 9, but now I was 29. It wasn't for me really. It just wasn't for me. I mean, sometimes you can read books that's not meant for you. That's meant for kids, teenagers, or middle graders, and you can still enjoy it. With this one, it was just much too targeted at that group, or I don't know. It it wasn't for me anymore. Sadly, it wasn't. And then we have Gutenberg's Hamlet, which, yeah, I mean, this is all about secret societies of books, which just sounds so awesome. I've kind of borrowed before from the library and kind of intended to read, and haven't. And now I did start it. And okay, so the thing is, this one has it has what's the word again? Prologue, and then there's first chapter, and then, well, yeah, it actually kind of has two prologues and then a chapter. But yeah, I just read the first two prologues, and the first prologue I actually honestly skipped because it's kind of like what? It was just too confusing. I don't really like to be confused too early in my books. It sounds weird, but I don't. But yeah, and then the second prologue, I kind of felt like it jumped too much. Like first it was there and then it was there. Like I don't know, the writing. Again, I kind of feel like maybe I would enjoy it much more if I was 10 or 9. But in this day and age of my life, I didn't really enjoy it. Also, I kind of think like in a way, I think maybe I would like it as an audiobook because I don't know. Really feel like some books kind of works better as audiobooks, at least in my head. But yeah, as a physical book, didn't really work. I mean, I wasn't enticed to read on. Like I didn't start the first chapter. Maybe I should have started the first chapter. But like I feel like some people say like when you DNF books or try books, you should read like half the book or 50 pages or like a certain amount. And so some people say like if you're not interested, put it down. Like put it down in the first page or whatever. I suppose yeah, it's all up to you. It's not like there's any rules to it. I mean, some people don't even DNF at all, which is honestly I think that's baffling and weird. Why you would force yourself to finish a book? I suppose sometimes I force myself to finish a series, but then I skim the book instead of like reading all of it. But yeah, the book I actually finished was Like fint å jobbe som å danse by Hilde Kagrup. It's a audiobook biography about Klaus Hagerup, which a famous Norwegian author. Though, yeah, okay, so he's written lots of stuff, but he's also actually been he started his career as an actor and then became an author. He's written both for kids and adults and what have you. And yeah, okay. So the thing is, with this person, I kind of associate him most with a series I read when I was 9, 10, 11, which I really much enjoyed at that point in time. But I didn't really think that he's written other stuff, but he has written other stuff. And so the part in this book that's about like the part where he writes the series that I really enjoyed, it's so small, and most of it is part of his younger, earlier years and stuff. And honestly, it wasn't that interesting. I kind of feel like if you're reading autobiographies, you should be interested in the whole of the life of a person, or you should be invested. You should have at least some knowledge of the whole of the life of someone. I did the same. I read Tony Robinson autobiography, who's the actor behind Bullrick. I love Bullrick. I don't really know that much about the other stuff he's been in. So like hearing about how he got an audition to this and this film and this stuff is like, I don't care. Tell me more about Bullrick. I suppose you do have some audiobooks, biographies where they focus just on one thing. But these ones didn't, and yeah. I mean, yeah. So sadly, the only book I finished during the Deweys wasn't that good. So yeah, it was at the brighter side. It was not a long book. It's 200 pages. So I didn't like force myself or read a long bad book. I mean, what's worse, a short bad book or a long bad book? I would say a short bad book. So yeah, yes, that's that really. So this is my Jewish experience for this April. Hopefully next Jewish in September will be better. And yeah, I hope you had a nice reading weekend, a better one than me. And I'll see you actually soon. And bye.